Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm Jeff Howard, and across from me I have Amy Whittenberger. Hey, Amy.
Hey, Jeff. Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Well, I'm happy to have you here. And your introduction is going to go a little something like this. So, I met you at Film Invasion Los Angeles 2025 because your film, A Rake, was an official selection. Not only that, but you took home the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Short Film Horror.
Yes,
Golf.
very honored. Yeah.
And I always make a point of adding this, that the film, we have 3 awards juries, and the Filmmakers jury, the Filmmakers board is alumni. It's all alumni. So that is an award from your peers. That one is decided by people who are active filmmakers on the festival circuit.
Oh, I love to hear that.
Right? The grand jury awards, it's funny because sometimes a filmmaker will say to me like, oh, I wanted a grand jury award. And I'm like, that's a selection committee. And honestly, like we have biases that we can't control.
Right.
Because we watch all 700-800 films. So, you know what I mean? Whereas the Filmmakers board, they just watch the official selections.
What's in the festival.
And
well, that makes me feel even better. I mean, I was going to take any award that I could get. So I was thrilled no matter what. It was only my second award that I've ever won as a director. So.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah.
As a director, so maybe there's been some writing awards?
No.
Oh, okay. I was reading into it.
There's been some placements in contests, but yeah, nothing major.
Nothing major.
No.
And, well, As a Rake is fantastic.
Thank you.
Great, wonderfully made film. Hits all the right notes, in my opinion.
Thank you.
In many ways, both cinematically and thematically. So, the purpose, but can people watch it yet? Maybe not.
They cannot watch it yet. We are finishing up our festival run right now. We have one more festival in October, and then I believe we're done. We've been going a year now. So it is the time to bring it to a close. And then, yes, it will be online. I don't know where yet. I met at your festival a lovely lady who has a platform, online streaming platform, who offered to help me out with that. So
that's excellent. Yao TV was a sponsor of our festival.
It might have been someone from there.
I sure hope so. It's funny if another streamer, because Yao TV was so good to us, and they came on as a sponsor, and we did give them the list of all our award winners too, so
that's great.
They could
Yeah,
pursue
it was.
them.
Maybe the only festival where I felt like I met connections that were helping me with the next steps after the festival circuit. So I felt really good. That's why I just absolutely loved your festival. I can't say enough good things about it. But yeah, so it will be online, probably around, hopefully, Halloween, after Halloween. No idea where.
Oh, right. Yeah. When you're in horror, does everyone talk to you about Halloween?
Everyone, for sure. And last year we premiered at Screamfest, which was really lucky because it was right around Halloween. And I just barely finished it in time to apply there. So, whew.
It's so funny to me. I'm biased from having a teenager for the last X number of years. Who I mention too often on the podcast, but it's hard, right? Not to, because she only watches horror, and every weekend she comes to me and says, "What horror movie are we going to watch?" So to me, horror is a 12 months out of the year genre. Like the idea that horror, I don't even associate horror movies with Halloween anymore, because horror is year round, and Halloween is honestly like a goofy commercialized holiday. Like I loved it as a kid, but now I'm not too into
But it's socially acceptable. It's more socially acceptable to watch horror every day of the year. People don't think you're like a crazy psychopath freak.
That's true. Not anymore. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
For
Thankfully.
1 month.
All right, for 1 month.
The rest of the year we have questions. But yeah.
I suppose, although your actually your film, I was about to talk about how horror has so many subgenres in it now. And
amazing.
As a Rake kind of covers at least 2, because there's a jump scare element, but then there's also the slow creep element, and there's also the social awareness element. Like there's a lot of there's wow, for a short film, you cover some ground.
Thank you. I think my favorite description of this subgenre of horror, and I saw it on some ad on Facebook, but it's the good for her genre of horror, and it includes Midsummer, like all these movies where like there's this girl that has kind of been wronged by society or a guy or someone, and she kind of does some questionable things by the end morally, and we love her for it. And that's my favorite genre of horror right now.
And good for her, as in like sometimes we root for the monster, so to say. We root for the shark. I always just refer to the shark, right? Because Jaws is the film that taught us. Right. Yeah, you just need a predator.
You need that predator.
Yeah.
And if the shark had been put upon and had these unrealistic body expectations placed upon him for, all this time, centuries, then we'd be pretty happy if the shark was killing all these men.
Maybe that shark in Jaws was pregnant and protecting the environment for its baby.
You don't know. Nobody asked the shark.
Is there a cute name for shark baby? Like
Baby Shark.
Okay, Baby Shark. Of course, Baby Shark. Oh,
yeah.
Have you heard that song over and
over?
You have a 5-year-old.
We were thick into the Baby Shark universe.
Oh, you're in the you're in the let's watch something over and over and over universe.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we've luckily graduated to Gabby's Dollhouse and Blippi, and I've never been more grateful not to see Cocomelon's stupid face anymore every day. So.
I have to say that you will absolutely love when the kid's ready for feature length, because the quality's better.
She's
right?
getting there. Yes, it's
right?
way better, and just getting her to understand story makes my heart happy. And we talk about Moana, and she's like putting things together, like, oh, she's scared because she's going on an adventure and her parents want her to stay on the island, and it's just amazing how her brain is making these thematic connections with story.
And literally you name the movie that I was like on a soapbox about, because that year we'd of course watched Moana about 17 times, but I'd seen everything else nominated for Best Picture, and I'm like, no, Moana is without a doubt the best film of that year.
For sure.
It deserved Best Picture, not Best Animated Film.
I totally agree.
And of course, they never do it because it's for kids.
Yeah.
And
comedies, animation, horror.
Yeah.
I have a big gripe with that.
Sci-fi can barely get in the door, but by far, animated features are better thought out stories, because the process of making animation actually had a young man who was a festival alumni and then got a job at Pixar.
Oh, wow.
And I said, is that like why? And he said, yeah, actually, you have to plan out the beats so well for animation that an animated script is rewritten 1,000 more times than a live action script.
And I'm a part-time screenwriting teacher, and I teach these classic animated movies to teach story, because it's just the conflict and all your elements that are necessary are just baked in so easily. You don't have to hunt for them. There's no plot holes. So the story structure is always perfect. It's always flawless.
Yeah, because it has to be because there's no fix it in post. There's no let's get into the editing room and figure out what we're doing.
Right.
Which happens a little too often.
And a kid is just not going to understand an ambiguous low point,
Exactly. Yeah. So, well, anyway, you mentioning a 5-year-old totally derailed me, because I love talking about how
my daughter
great
forever, but
it is.
She's not so into the horror genre.
Not yet.
She has not seen As a Rake. Maybe someday.
Hopefully, we still know each other 8 or 9 years from now.
That would be great.
Because when ours came home from a sleepover party, it was a slumber party. She came home from the slumber party and announced, I'm only watching horror from now on, which was very funny, because we really needed, before that it was, all Studio Ghibli and all that really wonderful stuff. And it was tough for me, but actually it's been wonderful, because it means for the last 6 years, I've watched a lot of horror, and it was never my genre because I was a kid of the 80s,
Right.
and horror was so boring in the 80s. It was just slasher only.
I agree.
No depth, no interest, and so many sequels that did nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas, I mean, you mentioned Midsommar, and I'm like, that's one of my favorites of the last 10 years.
Yeah, horror is going to new levels. People are realizing you can do all the things you do in a drama or a comedy, but with this adrenaline factor. And so once you go horror, it's really hard to watch regular normie movies again in the same way.
Right.
It's like going on the biggest roller coaster and then, you're going on the spinning teacups.
It does almost feel, right. It does almost feel that way.
Yeah,
it does.
it's really
the
hard to go
stakes get
back.
so much lower.
The stakes get lower and more nuanced. It's tough life.
Yeah. Well, and we got to get on your personal story soon. But as someone who teaches screenwriting, you obviously probably constantly talk about conflict. If there's no conflict in the story,
All the time. Yeah.
There is no story.
Yep.
And horror makes conflict pretty natural.
It does. And it's what I love about it is it's always, evolving conflict. Usually the conflict evolves into life and death stakes. But up till, the end of Act 2B, you also have the conflict between people, the drama level conflict, the thematic conflict too. So it's just a beautiful, perfect genre.
It is. All right. And it sounds like you're very into it, which is very cool because I've been forced to become a horror fan too. I am a horror fan too now.
You can say that. You're one of us now. One of us.
I can, absolutely. Especially in this. But I'm going to not name my favorite horror films for sure. When we're not recording, I will.
Oh, okay.
If you want to hear them. Because I want to hear your story. So were you always a creative person? Were you writing short stories as a kid?
Yes.
Did you discover okay, so go with it.
All of that. I was born a creative person who just is horrible at math. My parents are both psychologists. So I think I just studied people from a very young age and then just put them in stories. I was always a writer. I said I hadn't won any writing contests, but I did win a Christmas poem contest in the 4th grade. So I was kind of a prodigy back then.
If we had cups, we could click cups.
Yeah.
Because I won a poetry contest in 2nd grade.
We were auteurs
right,
already ahead
and
of our time.
That's what taught me. Yeah,
yeah, and
true.
so I knew I was a writer, and I knew I loved stories. The way it manifested at first was I was a gymnast for a while, and I felt like on the floor exercise I was acting out stories, and then it turned into theater, and I was like an actor, and I was literally acting out stories, and then but while still writing them, and then I went to college for theater, and I was a playwright, and then I realized that you don't make any money as a playwright, and so I decided to do something that's just really reliable income, like screenwriting. And so I went to grad school out here. I moved here to AFI. And
where'd you grow up though?
Oh, I grew up in Florida, North Florida. My parents were like the 2 blue dots in a sea.
I was going to say
psychologists, blue dots. It's lots of fundamentalist Christians.
Or north of there?
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee, right.
Which is west Panhandle.
Panhandle.
Yep.
Which, might as well be Georgia.
Absolutely. My dad, we lived a brief time in Alabama, and my dad tells stories about the Klan members knocking on his door trying to recruit him. So it's scary down there.
It's a culture.
It's a culture. It's beautiful, but some scary people have co-opted it. But I mean, I have fond memories of
And by the way,
anyway.
I couldn't help but say that having 2 psychologists as your parents, psychologists or
psychologists,
psychologists,
yeah.
that might be the perfect breeding ground for a horror writer because
It
horror, you have to
absolutely was.
understand psychology.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think very early on I was interested in the macabre and I was reading horror books. So it really is no surprise that now I am doing what I'm doing.
Sorry, I have to put on Do Not Disturb because it just made noise.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it is on Do Not Disturb. So why did it
Might
make
have been
noise?
mine.
Oh, my bad. Here I am interrupting you.
Oh, let me turn on Do Not Disturb too.
No worries.
There we go.
That's what it proves that this is a vibrant live podcast. That's a conversation because we can talk about silencing our phones.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
Riveting.
So grew up there and then college out here.
College in Florida as well.
Oh, in Florida
Florida
as well.
State, and then moved to Chicago for a few years, doing theater.
I was gonna say because the theater scene there.
Yeah, the theater scene is amazing. I had a great time. Writing, directing, acting, I did some improv as well, and then AFI out here, and then
And AFI for writing, directing?
for writing.
For writing, yeah. Because
Yeah.
AFI really divides the disciplines,
Oh
yeah?
yeah, definitely. I learned exclusively writing, and I did not really have that much interest in directing. I was too intimidated by the technology, cinematography. I didn't see story. I understood. I was grasping that, but I was too scared to be a director of film.
Which is interesting because you were not a introverted sit at home and write and never deal with the world. You were out there performing. I
was directing theater, but I
Yeah.
I was like, don't let me near a camera. I'm going to break it. Like just by being next to it. I'm worried for this microphone right now. I thought I was like cursed with technology.
Got it.
Yeah.
Which is probably a healthy thing if it keeps you from relying on too much technology.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's possible to write a screenplay with a smartphone in the room.
It's not.
Like, don't you have to,
It's
like, lock it in a
categorically
drawer?
Impossible. Yeah.
Or a poem or a play. By the way, I love that you were a playwright because
Yeah.
plays are so great.
And I think playwriting really gave me all the foundational skills for screenwriting at an indie level, because you have to do so much with so little. You just have the four walls. So you're used to not relying on, big effects and new dramatic locations, which is great because I don't have money right now to afford that stuff. So.
And you're seeing your work performed, right? You're seeing it and with a live audience and talk about
real time.
Right, screenwriters who never experience an audience really have it's like the world's greatest table read over and over, right?
Over and over. Yep. Yeah, I
And
loved
you
it.
and you learn what works and what doesn't
You do. Pretty quick.
way more than someone who keeps writing at home or at Starbucks and never shows it to
Nobody
anyone.
sees it. Yeah.
Or they have a friend read it and say, "Oh, I like it."
Right.
Until you hear the words out loud, you haven't gotten there.
Right. It's like boot camp for writing.
Yeah, so you did do a great boot camp.
I did.
And you learned empathy for actors, which is as by being one,
Yes.
which is
It's
even
so
though
important.
you were not geared towards directing yet, but I bet the acting experience was good for you as a director now.
Oh, yeah. Now, being a director, the working with actors part was easy. That's the easiest thing for me because I just remember how it was. And it was just like riding a bike and felt really good and fulfilling doing that part of it.
All right, so writing program at AFI, getting a master's in screenwriting.
Yep.
And
And then
did
graduating.
they get over there, right? They don't even like it's funny, the directing people getting MAs in directing don't go to the MAs in screenwriting and produce their stuff, right? Like they write their own sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The directors were very big on writing their own stuff.
Which is so funny because there's a crop of
'Cause there's
amazing
a-
screenplays on campus.
Right. And believe me, there was umbrage about that.
I imagine so, yeah.
There was always kind of a battle between the writers and directors.
Right. So was anything produced back then or was just lots of writing and
you
table
do
reading?
your thesis films. I did work with the director for a thesis film. He ended up rewriting me at the last minute. So that, that's just another example of that push and pull between the writer director. So nothing produced back then. You have a big pitch fest and you pitch your ideas, but then I think maybe one person from our class got representation and had her career, catapulted from there. But for the most part, nothing really happened for many, many years. And you're just writing these pages that are littered over the floor of your life for years with nothing happening.
Right. Writing and did you work in the industry elsewhere?
I had a few industry jobs. Mm-hmm. I was a writer's assistant for Paramount when they were filming Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension, and so that it was an interesting case because they had, over the course of a year that they were filming for a very long time. They had about 5 writers on the project, and so there were these new drafts. They went through so many drafts. So I got to experience all these iterations of the story, learn how to be a writer's assistant, make these connections. And so, yeah, I got to see how the set worked. And I was like, oh, maybe I can do this someday.
I mean, just in case there is someone listening who doesn't know this, the writer's assistant job, that is actually a coveted position.
It is.
Like it's a coveted competitive. It's not like being a PA where like that.
I was desperate to get that, and I thought when I got it, I was like, "This is it. This is it for me."
Right, I'm going to end up in a room.
Right. But the thing is, the writer's assistant for a feature film doesn't translate
different than a series.
Yeah,
right.
On a series, you'll be a writer's assistant, and then eventually you'll write an episode.
Yeah, no. In the '90s, I knew someone who got a job on Frasier as a writer's assistant, and the day that person got hired, all of a sudden, agents and managers were calling saying, "Hey, I'd like to represent you."
Yeah,
it was like,
because that's it for you. And
they know
TV
there's paychecks coming, because that was back when people writers got paid.
Oh, right.
Well, and there was all those shows that they shot 22 episodes a year.
There was
not 8 or 9.
Right.
Or
there was
6.
some stability in TV writing and upward mobility as well. Ah, what a quaint time.
There was actually. It is
really
funny
different.
to be nostalgic about the days when you could just grind out shitty sitcoms, but you went from writer's assistant to staff writer to a head writer to a showrunner.
It was a
producer. Associate producer.
Well-trodden path
to
a career that would last.
And if you had an uncle in the business, you were in.
Oh God, just one uncle. It doesn't even have to be a nice uncle. It can be the weird, creepy one. But yeah, you were in if you had that uncle.
I mean, in general, I think that's why TV suffered for a long time, because I think they finally broke that. But
they broke.
The
nepotism.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
But I think Breaking Bad proved, good writing will actually do well.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a little bias of mine. All right, so you got the writer's assistant job on Paranormal, which is kind of, by the way, so were you the writer's assistant for all the new writer, like they bring in a new writer and you would stay?
I would stay.
So you were the constant.
I was the constant there. It was 2 teams. It was 2 teams of writers and then 1 head writer. And so they switched out, and I was there.
So that must have been really enlightening. That must have been.
It was amazing, and to see like the new team take up the helm of the story and their thoughts on it and what they would change, and they were all just lovely people.
And were you always a horror person? Were you a fan of the genre?
I was a fan of the genre.
Right. So to work on Paranormal was like, I mean, you named which Paranormal, and I honestly don't know if it was number 3 or number 9.
I don't even remember the exact number.
But the first one blew the doors off, right? The first one was like Blair Witch, but it didn't suck.
You're recording.
I know. Look, Blair Witch was a sensation. But it sucked when you finally saw it.
First of its kind. It was the first to do something.
It was the first,
and you don't have to be that good when you're the first to do something.
Exactly. Whereas Paranormal was actually good.
It's actually a good movie.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I saw Jason Blum on that set, and I think he didn't. I don't even know if he knew I was there, but I was hardcore fangirling. Just in the corner, breathing heavily.
Excellent. Yeah. So that was a great.
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Learned a lot about final draft.
I kind of want to just golf clap for the fact that you went through that experience and you wanted to write more instead of, right? Because that's the kind of experience that sometimes, like, oh my God, I watched 4 or 5. I watched all these great writers keep getting fired and replaced. I think I'm going to go, do something else. Your love for writing was strengthened.
Absolutely. Like. And, seeing these writers' perspectives on things. I mean, one team of writers was not thrilled that they were being replaced, but these writers still have these careers, these steady, successful careers they can still provide for their families. So it's like, it's like being in the NFL and you lose a game. How upset are they really? They go home to their mansions. They're doing okay.
They do get the same paycheck, win or lose. Although I guess they get more in the playoffs, but still.
They're doing fine.
Yeah.
They were doing
That's
okay.
like residuals.
And they were happy, and they were just happy to be there. They were also kind of indie writers as well. So it was kind of their big jobs for them.
Right, yeah, because paranormal, they're not pouring in, they're not paying the big bucks for, oh my God, I can't name, I was trying to name one of those like Robert Town types.
Yeah.
Who are they? Okay, let's just throw $1 million at Robert Town to fix this thing. Like,
nope, they didn't do that. They were pinching pennies.
For sure, but there's so much talent. So.
Oh yeah. You don't need to pay that much for talent nowadays. Yeah.
Well, how long ago was that, Paranormal?
That was actually in 2014.
2014.
So it wasn't very long after I graduated AFI. Yeah.
Cool. So what came next?
What came next?
And during that year of Paranormal, was it so much work? Did you have time to keep writing your own stuff?
I did, because it was off and on. We'd shoot for a couple weeks, and then we'd be off for a couple weeks. So it was off and on, and so I did have plenty of time.
Well, that's excellent.
And during that period of time,
and money for food and shelter.
Yeah, I had this thing called a roof over my head.
Look,
the rain didn't hit me. It was
it's
lovely.
not a given for screenwriters.
It's not a given. People out there with their newspapers. Bless their hearts. After that, I think I did some non-union freelance writing for a bit. Walked dogs. I was very into the dog walking scene at that time, pet sitting. And then I kind of, around 2016, pivoted and started teaching as a day job, and kind of was like, okay, I can't keep putting off these life things that I want for my career. Like I need to, if I want marriage, if I want a child, I kind of need to do that because my career isn't going to happen first. So I had to kind of spend some time getting married, having a child, setting up my life so that I felt stable enough to pursue screenwriting.
Right. So the teaching thing allowed you. Yeah. And teaching screenwriting, which of course keeps you in touch with it.
I loved it,
but
and I still love it.
I just want to say bravo. Like, I'm about to sound like the well, not creepy grandparent, but the loving grandparent, which I'm just so glad you made these choices, because I know so many people who are like, I'm going to put all that off until the career works. And like,
and it just doesn't happen.
And isn't that what leads us to the movie Idiocracy? If all the intelligent, sophisticated people put it off, and I just like, thank God you had a kid, like,
Yeah, you just can't, because then it feels like something you're giving up for this career, and I think that puts a lot of pressure on this career. And I mean, you can't create as quality stuff in such a pressure cooker. I don't believe.
Yeah. So you're teaching. Do you want to say where you taught, or?
Yeah, NYFA. I'm still part-time employed there at New York Film Academy.
Right there in Burbank.
Now.
Yeah.
Right there. I just love meeting these bright-eyed, bushy-tailed
We've had some cool films from NIFA, I think.
Really? Yeah, they're great. It's a really good school because they do something that AFI did not do, which is it's like integrated. All the disciplines are integrated. The kids all learn editing. They all learn directing. They all learn cinematography. So it's really good that way.
You know, we had a staffer at one point who was born and raised in China and came to NIFA for film school.
Oh, yeah.
How cool is that?
Oh, amazing. I mean, yeah, a lot of our students were Chinese up until recently.
Yeah, I imagine there's
now it's
different issues.
Now it's gotten pretty complicated.
Oy.
Yeah.
Sucks.
It really does.
Because why would we want people coming here and contributing to our economy? Oh, I guess we shouldn't get into that. But 3 cheers to our staffer.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Actually married an American and has a beautiful boy.
Aww.
Oh, he's so cute. Yeah. I only follow her. Thanks to social media, I know it. Hi, Angela. So anyway, that'd be so funny if she still listens to this.
She does. She'll love to hear it.
Who knows? All right, so that's excellent. So you had stability, and you could
stability, and then
and you went to the store and got one of those husbands.
I got from the husband store. He's tall. You know, I went to the tall husband store, obviously. Dark hair, tall, dark, handsome, the basics. Yeah, he's a software developer. So I also got pretty lucky in that department that we're not great on money, but we're not starving.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
And I'll point out that he's a coder. So that's actually creative. That's creative writing too.
Yeah. He's a very creative person. He used to be a pretty well-known metal musician in India, where he is from. And so he was in this pretty, prestigious band and came here and was going to be a musician. And then the music industry fell apart. But he's a brilliant coder, very creative. So we got lucky in that regard.
Right. He was able to apply his creativity.
To this and has a job he loves. So we're doing okay there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So then in about 2022, I pitched to Hulu and was able to get our short film Free Birth made through their Bite Size Halloween program. So that was a big moment as well.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Was that because you had representation and stuff? How'd you get in the door with Hulu?
I did have representation, but my rep did not get me that job. It was actually one of my very best friends who I went to AFI with. He, I guess, had better representation because his rep got him the pitch, and he asked me, he's like, hey, you want to come and pitch with me on this? And so that's how I got this job. So, and I was like, why didn't my rep get me this job? They're not my rep anymore, so I can say that.
Got it. Well, plus, and it's nice people, creatives looking out for each other and understanding that collaboration is better than competition.
It absolutely was. And, that's how you make it, is you just play the long game.
And you're probably a really nice person because people don't do nice things for assholes, right?
I've kept my psychopathy very close to the vest this whole time. Nobody knows except now everybody.
Right.
But
no, there's dead hobos all around the LA area because you get that out of your system.
Yeah, and then I come here and I'm lovely.
Perfect.
So yeah, just that's how I got that big job, and then Hulu paid for us to write the feature version of that, and then it was about to get greenlit. We were having our locations meeting. We had a line producer, and then we got a call from the producer saying, okay, so Trump just overturned Roe v. Wade, and this movie is about a pregnant woman in peril, and Hulu thinks it's too triggering now. And so they pulled it last minute. So it did not get made. We still have hope someday, but that was a big hit.
God, and what a shitty reason. Of all the things,
it was like
a pregnant woman in peril would be timely.
One would think. That's what I thought.
Wow, it just shows the decisions are rarely well, I mean, they have to do what they think is best for their
audience.
Platform, but that seems
it was
in the horror
dark.
genre.
It was a dark time. It was a horror, definitely a horror genre,
which means it's geared towards a demographic
a certain
that
demographic.
is not that Trumpy.
Sensitive. No, and not that Trumpy. Exactly, Hulu. Yeah, so that was a hit.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah,
Thanks. Yeah.
Well, it's still a good experience going through the
it was
the pitch and writing and rewriting process, and
I loved the people I work with. I loved the producers. I still love the partner I worked with on that. His name is Juan, and he's brilliant. So yeah, I got a lot of great things from that experience anyway. And then after that, I was just really frustrated and was like, you know what? I was pregnant, and I was like, I'm going to write a maybe $40,000 feature that I can shoot in my house, and I'm going to direct it and shoot it in my house, and I'm not going to, there's going to be no one to say, no, this is too triggering. So I did that. And I put out a search for a producer on Facebook, and I got this AFI alum to come on board. And he was like, well, how about I shop it? And he was like, just let me shop it for a little bit. Give me a chance. And then that was 5 years ago. And we just got financing for that movie.
Right. So
it's actually
the producer,
the ground.
That's almost the it's not as fast, but it's almost like the Lawrence Bender Tarantino story where Lawrence Bender said, dude, let's try to raise some money, because Tarantino just wanted to make it for like $5.
Yeah.
And Bender forced him to like shop it, which is very cool. By the way, I'm doing the math in my head, and if you were pregnant and if your daughter is 5 in 2025, that means you got pregnant in 2019. Yeah. Right before the world shut down.
Right. I remember it was March 11th, and I was pregnant in the hospital in labor.
March 11th, 2020.
She was born March 12th, and I remember being in this horrible labor, just seeing Tom Hanks on the TV talking about how he had COVID and this is serious, and then the world just shut down after that, and it was... Yeah, it was quite an experience because she was a NICU baby. She was born 2 months early. And so the NICU experience during COVID was really scary because she's immunocompromised, and, they started not letting people into the NICU, and, you had to do this very serious, hazmat suit thing and wash up before you went in and held your baby. So it was pretty... terrifying.
I can empathize because we went through a health scare or two during COVID.
That time. Oh my God.
And dealing with hospitals and things, and it's insane.
It was
so. Yeah. And back to the screenplay, like if you had shot, like you would have been shooting.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do it.
Like the shopping around the script actually saved you from having a film that got interrupted by lockdown.
Yeah,
that
would have been a nightmare.
Coincidence.
By lockdown and by premature labor, it was not meant to be.
Yeah, it would have killed the thing.
It would have completely killed it. So, yeah, for better or worse, that happened, and probably for better.
Yeah, well, especially so literally, the news is recent.
The news is really as of last week.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Woohoo! I mean, it can still fall apart.
Anything can happen.
Anything can fall apart. But right now, I don't know how much I even should say about it. But
sure.
Yeah, right now I'm really
excited. All right,
so
the friend talks you into shopping, and then you have your child, which is wonderful. You have your daughter. Mm-hmm. And then what? So you were, oh my God, you were one of those people who believe me, well, so we had a 13-year-old during lockdown. But you had a baby.
We had a
and like,
baby.
and we were worried about grandparents and shit. Like you couldn't have grandparents come when she was new.
We had everybody was supposed to come and see her, and nobody could come, and we didn't have childcare. I mean, any childcare. There was nobody to watch her other than us for even an hour for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, it was.
Oh my God, you survived that. You lived a little horror movie.
We lived our own little horror movie. Yeah, it was a lot. But I mean, on the plus side, the whole world stopped, and my world was going to stop anyway. So it's like I didn't feel like I was missing out on the outside world or everybody moving on without me. Cause,
the industry shut down.
Everything shut down. So it was like, oh, good timing for me to have a newborn.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It just sucked that you couldn't get all the help because
we couldn't get any help.
Lord knows.
It was
rough. You and your husband never got to go to a movie while the grandparents sat there in case something happened.
The day we realized we could get daycare was like a rumspringa for us. It was liberation. And we love her so much. But parents need breaks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but look, it's stressful to have your first kid, and then it's stressful to live during a global pandemic. So my heart, I have a lot of empathy for the situation you were in.
Yeah.
So as that was arising, so did you actually have lots of extra time to write though?
I did. Yeah. I did do I rewrote that draft of the script that's getting made now a couple of times. And, you know, my favorite picture is me writing as I'm breastfeeding, just like my arms going over her as she's sleeping on me. And yeah, that was my life for quite a while there.
Which is, I mean, honestly, I feel like the quality of indie films, there was almost like a story boom after lockdown. Like there were all these better film. Like a lot of people like went back to edit stuff that had been on the hard drive for like.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a really good film 7 years ago. Why don't I finish it?
Right. Because we were bored at home. We needed to be creative to cope with the crazy shit that was happening.
Yeah. So when you got to emerge from lockdown.
Yeah.
What was your first step?
I mean, first step was daycare. I think, that was when Free Birth at Hulu was being made.
Oh, that's okay.
Around
so that
2022, 2023. That's
right. So that was when
happened.
that pitch happened. That pitch meeting that led to the short.
We shot, and you had to wear masks on set. Everybody was very safe. Very, So that's when that happened, and I think 2024 is when I made As a Rake.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
So you went from the Hulu. The Hulu letdown was As a Rake the next thing you did?
I did Hulu, and then I wrote the feature for Hulu with my partner, and then that fell apart. And then I was just coming up with ideas that I could just do as a short film, as a proof of concept
because you probably have a stack of scripts or a virtual stack of scripts on a hard drive. But so when the idea for As a Rake came to you, did it also click like, okay, this could be made for a certain budget but made well, and when did you decide to direct it?
I was after the Hulu thing, I wanted to direct.
Right. So after Hulu, you're like, I'm going to direct something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Oh, and the I'm going to direct something. Did that start with the thing that your friend said? Pitch it?
Oh, yeah.
You were going to direct that one.
I was going to direct that one. That is not happening. There's another very well-established. Yeah. She's going to direct, and she's great. She has way more experience. I had to kind of come to terms with the fact that my writing career was not following the same path as my directing career, because I've been writing for so long, but I was new at directing film. So I can't expect... and I need money, so I can't expect to just demand that my name be on something when I have no experience.
I think it was Patton Oswalt who said, people who are against selling out don't have anything anyone wants to buy. I think I paraphrased him. I got it wrong. But the fact that someone's like, we'd like to take this chunk of money, give you probably a little bit of it, and then we're going to make this film with another director. And like, what are you going to do? Say, it's just a great opportunity, and it will lead to you directing something down the line.
Well, yeah, and if you're a true creative, you're going to have a bunch of other ideas.
Yeah.
So that's not the only story you'll ever have, and yeah, that's what I came to realize. And
Right.
I'm
So were you
happy I
writing
did.
lots of stuff with the idea of directing it at that point?
Yes. I did. I wrote my last big budget screenplay like right after the Hulu thing. And then it got a little bit of traction when my rep was shopping it, but nothing came of it. And then I was like, fuck this. We're cursing on here, right?
Of course.
Okay.
I've cursed, haven't I?
I don't know. I don't even hear it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just language.
You're my kind of people.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this. I need to write things that have a shot in hell at getting financed, because then there were the strikes. And so you could see the industry contracting before our very eyes. And I was like, okay, it's not the same. I can't expect to, have a general meeting and then someone's like, yeah, have $5 million for your movie. No. So I started, Rake. I thought I thought I could do it for maybe $100K as a feature. So I did.
Right, so Rake was originally written as a feature.
I did write the short first.
Oh, you wrote the short first.
But the idea was for a feature first.
Right,
And then I
right.
was
So
like,
so
short
you
proof
saw
of
right. So you
concept.
saw the idea as a feature
Yeah.
idea, and you said
Boiled it down.
boil it down, and
Mm-hmm.
and because you knew to direct your first film, you wanted to start with the short.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, the quality of As a Rake, definitely, to have that quality for 80, 90 minutes, that would have a
be
big price
way
tag.
more expensive. I needed to see what I could do with an appropriate amount of resources for an appropriate length of time. And I knew if I tried to do a 15K feature, it might look like shit because I'm new at it and I don't have resources. It might not be good, and then I don't have an accurate assessment of my skill set. So that's why I was like, gotta put these resources. Later on down the line, I can make some shortcuts financially.
And even though you didn't take a producer credit, that is high quality producer thinking, right? Because
Thank you.
it really is because
Yeah.
a $15,000 horror feature, like
Yeah.
15, you can get away with like a Clerksy, Kevin Smithy kind of thing.
Right.
But
For horror,
if you're doing
it's harder.
for horror, like then, I mean, the world is really sick of the found footage.
Yeah.
Like-
it's come and gone. I hope it has a revival someday, but it's not right now.
I mean, I just haven't seen a good one for a long time.
Long time. People have been using it as a crutch.
Yeah, and so there's really, I mean, not that horror needs money, but you do.
But also you do. You need some money to, because you need at least one horror moment payoff that makes the audience feel
Yeah.
like they're getting their bang for their buck,
Yeah, whereas comedy drama, you can always get away with shooting a play and
Yeah.
hope that the subject matter resonates and
Right.
gets you somewhere.
Right.
But yeah, with this
Horror, it's
genre,
that roller coaster, and if the roller coaster doesn't move, you are like, why am I here?
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. All right, so you made that decision. So you had the feature idea, wrote the short, and then just went right into. So you pull in a producer?
Yes.
I could try to say Liska Ostojic or something.
Very good.
Oh.
Well, I just say Liska Ostojic. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I
say
I'm
it
a
in
fan
my
of tennis
white girl
players,
way.
so tons of Eastern European names.
Okay, good. Yeah, you nailed that, I think. Liska, I knew from my AFI days as well. And back at AFI, I just thought she was so brilliant. She was a writer, and she still is a writer. But she's also like started to get into producing. And I just basically strong-armed her into working with me.
Excellent. Strong arm by saying, you know what, I'm going to make a film. You want to work on it?
Do this?
And-
She was really busy with other stuff, but I
But really busy.
held her down.
But you weren't talking about a 6-month commitment, right?
Exactly.
Because I imagine it was a weekend shoot.
Yeah, it was over 2 days, and then we did a half day of pickups like a month later, something,
Yeah. Yeah,
opening
because you have
wasn't
a great single location story.
right. That is my house. Doesn't my house
Is
look
your
great?
house. It is cute.
Yeah, it's pretty cute inside.
Very cute home.
Yes, we had that location. And,
So you had to hide the baby stuff.
oh
Not
my
kidding.
God, yeah. Pissed off my husband to no end because he had to take the baby during that time
Sure,
to
sure.
his asshole uncle's house.
Right.
And that was not fun for him.
Yeah, because you can't spend that much time at the park.
No, they
Day
when
and
you
night,
sleep at the
12
park.
hours.
Yeah, they.
Oh yeah,
tend to
they
not be
slept. Oh right,
happy.
so you shot all night.
Yeah.
So
well,
yeah.
we had to shoot at night sometime, like
Yeah.
or late.
Yeah.
You know, so we had to have that house, and I couldn't imagine, staying up with the toddler at night and then waking up and shooting the next day. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I had to put on my blinders, basically.
No, just one weekend.
Just one weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it went really well during that weekend. We had some, we ran out of time, like one shot, but other than that,
no problem.
Yeah.
And I got to praise your casting too.
Thank you. Oh my God, I love them so much. Jana, the lead, at the time was relatively new to acting. She'd come from the San Francisco Ballet, and she was like a legit ballerina, and she was just like now retiring at 26, 27, and pivoting into acting, and almost had no experience, but her audition was brilliant. And when you put up a casting notice, you get thousands of people send their headshots and resumes in, but she just stood out. And then the guy, Ben, he came to us last minute after our first guy dropped out at the very last minute. We were desperate. I thought we were so screwed, and luckily one of Liska's friends knew him, and he had been on the CW Legion show, which is like a Vampire Diaries spinoff. And so, like, I didn't even audition.
I've been dying to watch that show for years.
Oh, it's good.
Because the showrunner is one of my favorite writers.
How
and
could
I can't
you not
name.
with your teenage daughter? I don't know how you
She
missed
didn't
that.
get into Legion.
What about Vampire Diaries?
Dang, I think she did watch that one.
Yeah.
But not with us.
She had cool friends to watch with.
No, she just she hated. You don't want to watch like sexy stuff with your parents.
Sexy vampires with your parents.
Sexy, like
Fair.
when people start kissing, she would cover her eyes. I'm like, does it embarrass you? She goes, no, you embarrass me. I don't want to watch kissing sitting on the couch with you. And I'm like, okay, fine.
That's fair.
It was her own editing, but
Yeah.
I never knew Legion grew out of that. All right.
Yeah, and he was like a wolf, one of the wolf guys on Legion, and so I didn't even audition him because I was like, "Oh, you won the lottery. Let's not double check the numbers."
Sure,
you know?
Yeah.
So I just talked to him and watched a little bit of Legion and was like, "Okay, he is the guy. Like, it'll be fine. He's got this," and he did, and he was great.
Yeah, and they were both great.
Oh yeah. They're both just really brilliant.
And then and there was one. But so, how was a good post production? Because it looks. I do want to refer to the one visual effect.
Yes, we had
that
one.
is so impactful.
Oh yay!
You know what I mean? Like,
is it the
like,
mouth? Yeah,
I assume that's the only visual effect.
That actually is the only visual effect.
The mouth, as it's funny because in horror you use the term gag for like effects. So a part of me wants to call it a gag. Even though
I
it's
didn't know that.
the word gag. Well, that's what I used to deal with makeup artists and sculptors.
Oh, okay.
So they always refer, like
Yep.
like the head spinning around in Exorcist was called the head gag.
The
whatever.
head gag,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, we had one. I was like,
that mouth effect locks in the mind. Honestly, I think I can picture it right now.
I know, it's pretty impressive. Yeah, our next door neighbors are visual effects artists, And so we got one solid favor. I knew we'd get one. And yeah, so he did the mouth. And I was like, we just need that one to work. And it did. And yeah, and then editing.
And it totally takes the film to another level, doesn't it?
Yeah, up till then, it's very slow burn, tense, but not a lot scary happens. We're just feeling that dread because that's what the budget can afford. And then, yeah, I kind of wanted to catch people off guard in that moment.
And should we bring up the subject matter?
Sure,
like what inspired,
I'd love to.
Like,
it's my favorite part.
Well, there we go. Shit. Look at me being chicken shit about. So it is about weight loss.
Yes,
and particularly drug assisted weight loss.
The new GLP-1 drug weight loss, but the GLP-1s are pretty much a stand-in for any extreme diet. Back in the 80s, it was fen-phen.
It was fen-phen.
Yep, you had that. You've had all these extreme diet fads over the years. So it could be anything. This was just the newest, most topical, scary, mysterious thing.
And in a way, because it works better than other stuff.
Because it works. And
it's
the side
worse.
effects
Like
are
fen-phen
so scary.
I think, fen-phen worked, but it was so painful. And
yeah, didn't it caused deaths, but quick deaths, which isn't as great for horror.
I tend to share inappropriate things. I'm actually married to someone who, when we first dated in 96, she admitted to me she was on fen-phen and had been constipated for weeks. Because you just can't shit on it.
You just can't shit.
You can't
How
shit.
you lose weight,
you can
I don't
barely
know.
Eat. Yeah, you can barely, but yeah, it just super caused all these side effects that were miserable.
The problem is that, for some people it doesn't cause side effects. That's fine. But the problem is for a lot of people, these diets and these drugs cause very extreme, life-altering side effects. And they just do it anyway because nothing is more important to them than being thin. And that's the problem.
And it slides into addiction territory, right?
Oh, yeah. Diet culture is an addiction for sure.
And for me, it feels like it's a Siamese twin attached to body dysmorphia.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and that's something that the main character of As A Rake goes through is she is thin now. She is very thin. She's getting all this external
thin like a ballerina.
Validation. Thin like a ballerina, some might say. But she just doesn't feel it. And people are nice to her, but that doesn't make her happy. It makes her resentful. It gives her rage. Because what has she done to earn it? Nothing. She looks different. She's still the same person. And maybe even, some might say, a worse person, because of what she does in her spare time to the men she seduces with her new body.
Perhaps.
But yeah, people love her because she's thin.
I'm forgetting the term for the genre.
Good for her.
I mean, good for her, except for maybe the grisly part. But I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame that character for you ignored me for years, and now you see me at the market and you ring my doorbell.
Yeah, and you're trying to pretend you were
That's not a spoiler, right? Because
always
that's the first scene.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler. You're trying to pretend you were always interested and you're deep and not shallow.
And I was a lovely girl, a lovely person, and you didn't care. And she, it's not just validation from men. It's also she, can get a new job. Because I think the thing people don't realize with fat phobia is that it doesn't just affect your romantic pursuits. It affects everything. It trickles into every part of your life. Thin people have a privilege in the workplace, in job interviews. Our entire culture is judgmental.
Right. We're all so judgmental. So she is a monster, but I didn't want people to blame her because she has to be.
Yeah, well, and
she has to survive.
Is it fair to say society made her a monster? Mm-hmm. Because she wasn't a monster her natural state. But in order to please society,
Yes.
something monstrous happens to
In
her.
order to achieve her life goals, in order for those very basic, normal, relatable doors to be open towards her goals, she had to be thin. And so now she'll keep it at any cost.
Yeah.
You know, we've all been there. You know.
Agreed. And yeah. And all genders, everyone deals with this.
Yeah, I think women more so, but
much more so.
It's still
look at the
prevalent among men.
At the eating disorder clinics, it's 90-10.
Yeah, right.
So it is a all genders thing, but not at the same rate.
Not at the same rate.
And Lord knows, yes, women endure huge amounts of cruelty.
Right.
If they don't fit an ideal that I'm not sure anyone even has. That's the weird thing for me.
Right.
As the father of a college freshman is like the things she'll say about appearance. I'm like, you know what a person looks like stops mattering on date 3. I always tell her like, yes, fine, there has to be a little bit of attraction in the beginning, but on the 3rd date, like they really have to be you really have to like the person.
Yeah, for sure. But overweight people have trouble even getting to the first date.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so nobody is even willing to look at them.
Oh my God.
So it's like a feeling of being, you know, this paradox of being highly visible, you know, physically, but also invisible socially.
Yeah.
You know.
And hard on oneself too. Oh my God, I'm remembering a dear friend who I know doesn't listen to this, who would often say, I'm not going to date until I lose some weight because I wouldn't want to date the kind of guy who'd date a fat girl. She literally said that to us.
Oh, that's awful.
And she's so awesome as a person. I'm like, and honestly, like all her friends are like, we disagree. You are dateable right now.
Yeah. It's like you don't want to be part of a club that would have you as a member.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rules of that club are just fucked up, you know? That's so sad.
It's heartbreaking.
It's amazing what psychological damage society has done to people through diet culture.
And we went from Playboy and Charlie's Angels were harming young women in my generation.
Oh, okay.
And now it's social media. Hammering people with I mean, the imagery is insane.
And it's so fast spreading like a disease, too. I mean, there's, you know, eating disorder TikToks where these creators are telling you how to correctly execute your eating disorder.
Yeah.
You know, and they're saying, and then they're bragging about, you know, how my life is so great being thin. You know, it's just so damaging and terrifying.
And I mean, for our kid looking at Instagram, I mean, so I made reference like, you know, to Sports Illustrated and shit. I mentioned Playboy. But Playboy, but it used to be like 10 to 15 perfect humans were like household names.
Yeah.
But now on Instagram, it looks like there's thousands of perfectly shaped people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it makes it look like more normal instead of, you realize that's like, when you saw a supermodel at a sushi place in Brentwood, you said, that's an attractive person, but it's just the being photogenic. We knew it wasn't real, but now it feels real, right?
That person is an outlier. That person is kind of a freak.
Yeah.
But now it seems like it's just commonplace.
Seems like there's thousands of people with figures that are unattainable for most people.
And that's the problem with the way the GLP-1 drugs are being abused right now is people are using it to lose those 10 pounds. To go from being slender
they're saying they want to lose 10.
Emaciated.
And then they're going much further.
Right. And so it's moving that needle. It's moving that a body standard needle to skinnier and skinnier and skinnier.
It really is. And making it seem necessary.
And making it seem necessary just to even the playing field.
Yeah.
You know, like being skinny just seems like a prerequisite nowadays to so many of life's goals. sad.
It's, I mean, we've dealt with it forever or for decades.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's certainly more extreme.
It is more extreme right now.
I mean, do you remember a few years ago, body positivity was having a moment? Like
with
Lizzo,
soap ads and things.
Yeah, Dove. Yes, Dove
the...
was like having actual normal size, straight size people in their ads.
Yeah,
and that was a really
Victoria's
nice time.
Secret even went a little less anorexic, didn't they, for a minute?
I think they did. I think everybody did. People realized it was marketable, that it could be marketable and fit into the capitalistic system that we have. And then that just has all gone away now because there is an alternative to staying fat. Now you can choose to be thin if you endure all the side effects and, risks.
And again, we're stuck using language like fat, but perfectly healthy, attractive people can label themselves as fat now.
Right.
Because they're not, this is wrong, anorexic looking.
That's true.
I don't know how else, gaunt, because they're not gaunt. So now gaunt is a goal?
Gaunt is the goal. We're
instead
back in
of
the heroin
attractively
chic era of the
healthy
90s.
and
yeah, it's pretty scary. And
It's
I
pretty
have a
scary.
daughter she's 5. In just a few years, she's gonna be thinking about her own body in this way.
Yeah,
And
you're
it's
going to
really
have a
scary.
tween before you know it.
And I just don't want her to think these things. I don't want her to think the same awful things about herself that I've thought about myself.
Right.
Because I had a baby and then I gained weight and then I did experience firsthand how differently you're treated. And I know now, and it's not pretty. I don't want the world to be this way for her.
I know. Isn't it funny how we care even more about improving the world for our kids than for ourselves?
Yeah. My life's done. I don't give a shit about myself anymore. I'm fine. But she is going to either struggle with her body, being overweight, and hate herself and try to change herself, or she's going to be thin and be told that that's her value and do anything to keep it. And that is so sad. Those are the binary choices, and that sucks.
Yeah. And just be admired for...
Just be admired for that.
if she happens to, our kids' best friends, there's a few who, when they walk into the mall together, the guys converge almost immediately.
Oh,
and that's the wrong kind of attention too, because maybe she's not a nice person. But whatever. I guess that's we're not going to win that one.
Well, I mean, and guys don't have it easy either, because they are told that the only way they can get value is by acquiring a thin side piece, someone to stand by them that makes them look better and gives them worth. And that's a fucked up way to do it too. So they're prioritizing the wrong things in the way they're looking for their romantic partners, and it's just not working out for anybody.
It's not. I know. Sometimes I think like we have to teach the generation of young men how to talk to women because I'm not sure they're learning it.
Oh, maybe someone should make a short film about that.
I hope someone will.
I think they
no,
have.
because so I got an almost 18-year-old and then nieces, ranging from at this point I think it's like 22 to 29 or something, but all over the place. But I'm constantly told there's no good guys anymore. And I always say, so my bias from my youth is to respond, I'm sure they're there, but you're drawn to the jerks. And they're like, no, you don't get it.
Yeah.
They're all jerks now.
Oh, no.
And I go, is it because I don't know what it would do to if you're the straight male brain to have the internet?
Yeah, I mean,
as an adolescent boy, I had to work very hard to see naked women.
Now you don't. It's just a silver platter handed
If I
to
was
you.
13 today,
who would you be?
I
it
would
would be so
probably,
different.
and what would I think of the opposite
Right.
sex if I was watching what's on the internet?
Yeah, probably not the most respectful thing.
And there's only a jillion hours of it to watch.
For
whereas,
only 24 hours.
Whereas when
of
we
the
were
day?
13, I still remember, hey, Sang Park. Like my good friend was Sang Park, and we would like go to the newsstand and like
yeah.
wait till like the guy who owned the newsstand looked away, and then we'd like open up a porn mag real quick and start to look at something.
That was it.
Like
Right.
that's very different from unlimited inappropriate material.
I know. And there is like a young men's crisis as well right now. And I think
it kind of
it's
sucks
really
to
rough
be
for
young
them, too.
today
It sucks to be young.
because we didn't know that. I guess we probably should have known, but we needed social media to be the internet needed to be age gated from the beginning.
Probably. Yeah.
Because how do you produce healthy young people
Yeah.
if they can look at all the worst stuff in the world, like
Anytime.
on a laptop? You got to get them a laptop by middle school, high school.
Right. I mean, they need to know their way around technology like this to be successful in the world, but then they're also then they have access to all these very damaging things.
Yeah, so it makes me worry about everybody.
Yeah.
And
We're all screwed.
and your feature film, I'll get us back.
Oh, right, film.
Are we
We're talking about film.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
if you can get As a Rake made, it's gonna just be an arrow in the bullseye, isn't it? Like with what's going on.
I would hope so. Yeah, the As a Rake feature, it kind of is this more of an origin story. Like we see her, Kim is the main character. We see her when she's overweight and when she devalues herself and is just struggling. And we see the impact of diet culture on her. We know her mother was a beauty queen and, their love was withheld because she didn't look a certain way. So we see how she becomes what she ultimately becomes, and we see her. It's more body horror for sure because she finds the drug, insurance can't pay for it, of course. She gets it from some shady off-brand online compounding place and then, takes it works, but the side effects are awful. But she has to take it because she's getting all this validation. So we see her transformation more.
Yeah, validation professionally, validation romantically, validation from family. It sounds like.
Oh yeah. I mean, her boss, like after she is losing the weight, just comes into her office and is like, "Hey, can I get your take on a few things?" He's never asked her that before. Like you're just treated differently, and she can't let that go.
No, and friends and family. I mean,
Yeah.
I lost so many battles because I had a policy, and yeah, fine. I haven't used the term yet. This is virtue signaling, I realize, but like every time someone called our daughter, "Oh, she's so pretty now," I would say, she has great grades. That was my point. Is can we compliment her mind, not her appearance?
Can we compliment something
But guess
else?
who the biggest culprits of that were our female friends. Because they come over and go, oh, like, because a guy feels creepy if he says your 12-year-old is so, oh, your daughter's so pretty now. Like, hopefully he's not so Trumpy that he compliments 12-year-olds. I had to go there.
Apparently.
Shame on me.
Yeah, you can do that now, and it's fine. Ugh.
But, I constantly had to try to correct women. I'm like,
Yeah.
oddly enough, it was also women with sons. I did it a lot. But,
Interesting.
but I would be like, let's not. But I was Don Quixote because the entire culture was,
yeah,
telling
women.
telling this young woman that her appearance was primary.
Oh, for sure. Because women have been brainwashed, especially women your age, my age. Yeah, we've been brainwashed since we were young to think that's what's important, and that's what they want to hear. And I don't think the answer is like not complimenting that at all, but it's just one piece of the whole, It should be a much smaller sliver of the whole pie than it is.
Yeah. I'm not sure there's an answer besides being aware and
just being aware.
sharing.
Yeah.
And shame on us. I guess we probably, here I was trying to correct the adults, but I was hoping that what I said would be heard by the kid. But to be honest, I don't think it was.
Really?
Yeah, to be honest, I told you, like, the kid tells me looks are everything.
Yeah.
And I say, no, they're not. And she goes, yeah, they are. You're wrong. And I'm like, I guess you told me because you're in the real world.
I mean, yeah, we don't want to believe that looks are as important, but they're getting all of these signals that they are. So what are they going to believe? They have all this evidence in the world that they're in. That it's important.
Yeah, because look who has, I won't use names, but you know, there's certain famous young female actors whose names I know just because of what they look like, and they're and you know, like, why is that person famous and another person not? It's because they're clickbait.
I mean, these like TikTok content creators can be, you know, multi-millionaires just from being born in a body that looks a certain way. You know, it's the different. And when, you know, education in college is being devalued, it's like, oh, is that the path to success? Do I just need to look a certain way? And it sure seems like it. You know, a teacher can make $50,000-$60,000 a year, but a very attractive content creator on TikTok can make $1 million.
Yeah, just testing makeup and things,
and
doing whatever.
Those get ready with me videos, you know, that's it. That's all it takes. You could not pay me enough money to go back and be that age again. Never.
Yeah. Well, plus you wouldn't be able to bring your mature mind with you, right? You'd be young again.
You just have to go through it, that Sisyphusian battle of growing up. It was awful.
It's tough. And then I don't even know what to do. But I'm glad I'm glad that creative people like yourself are writing about it, because
we have to.
You know, there is going to be a reaction, and you know, Lord knows that I will cross my fingers and light a candle in the back of my brain to get the As A Rake feature will be made and released.
That'd be great.
And Lord knows, even if it were a hit, you know, it would resonate. The message would resonate. Maybe most people just enjoy it as a horror film, but some people would be helped by the subliminal message.
Horror
of it.
is doing that a lot more. Horror is playing in the deep end thematically more than it used to, and we can, you know, learn how to better live our lives.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Babadook was like the best film ever made about being an unwilling mother.
Wasn't that a genius film? I love that movie. One of my favorites. Yeah, and it taught us so much about motherhood to a challenging child.
And not the Disney version of motherhood.
I know, right? Yeah. We need those versions. We need those different versions of motherhood.
Well, there's no parent on earth who's never had a day when they wish they weren't, and pretending that, the pressure, and that's in social media too, right? Like, my daughter's my best friend. That's one of the ones that drives my wife crazy. Like, your daughter's not your best friend.
She's your daughter. Yeah,
she's your daughter, and your daughter has a best friend, and you should have a best friend.
Yeah, you have a best friend that's your own age.
And you should complain about each other to your best friend.
That's healthy. Also, just making it look so easy and effortless. You know, we need...
And then it should come naturally.
It should come naturally. If it's not, then you're doing it wrong. There's something fundamentally wrong with you. No, we need movies. And horror does a great job with showing how hard things can be. In an entertaining way. Yeah,
it does. It's always been a great way to get a message through, or an analogy, right? Great writing has analogies and metaphors and that literary crap that you writers know about.
Crap.
That you probably know the difference between a metaphor and a simile. I can't remember that to save my life.
Just give you a jump scare and you're going to learn something very valuable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what, right? When there's not a deeper, when there's not levels to to something creative, whether it's a movie or a book or whatever, then that's when you get bored, right? There's got to be more levels to it.
Yeah, for sure. And I hope, like, if As a Rake gets made, like, the message is, you know, she gets everything she wants, which in a normal movie, that's a victory. In a regular movie, that's, you know, the climax, when you get your goal. But in As a Rake, she gets everything she wants, but she loses what she really needed.
Yeah.
You know, she loses everything else in her life.
I bet your third act is off the hook.
Yeah, it is.
Does shit go crazy?
Well, yeah. You
Nice.
gotta, in a horror third act, there's gotta be a chase, there's a monster, you know. You gotta give the audience what they want there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you want to.
And it's fun.
Yeah, you want to have fun with it.
Oh, for sure.
Awesome. And your other, is that the focus, or are there a bunch of other things?
No, there's a bunch of stuff I'm making.
You got a cooktop with lots of frying pans.
Basically, different budget projects in the works. Just that spaghetti flying at the wall. Yeah. So I have As a Rake, which I won to 300,000. You know, and then I have another project that's hopefully 75 to 100,000, one location, you know, very small sci-fi thriller, kind of like Ex Machina style. And then next year I'm planning on shooting a low 5-figure feature, you know, kind of, you know, 20, 30,000 for a feature that takes place almost in real time, out in the woods, so don't have to, in the daytime without a lot of
exterior
lighting.
Day, yeah.
We're on a hike, so there's not makeup, you know. So I'm doing that one now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very smart. See, you have that. I'm going to mention the producer's mind again, because that's.
Oh, do I?
Right. That's.
See, I never think of myself as a producer at all.
But that's what a producer. These are producer decisions, right?
I guess so. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I've been making very intentional decisions about what I can and cannot do. And I forget who said it. Mark Duplass said, "The cavalry is not coming. You have to do it yourself." And that's what I'm going to do right now, because it's better than not doing anything. It's better than waiting.
And you know what? You're in a fortunate situation because you're making horror for the right reasons. You love it. Mm-hmm. You've been a fan of the genre. Yeah. And that's so different than the horror opportunists, I think. Oh, right? Yeah. The people who are like, well, I don't have a lot of money, so it's got to be horror. And it's like,
right.
It's like, that's why we have shitty horror.
There's a lot of shitty horror. There is.
Yeah. Because you can
do it with low budget.
Well, because there's streamers who are like, oh, we'll just, we'll support horror. Right. We know, like, a bad horror film will still get watched 100,000 times by teenagers who could care less, and then they'll see the ads that pop up. Obviously, I'm talking about Tubi and shit. Like, you know, the AVOD world means, you know, you don't need quality to get people to start the film. They'll see a couple ads.
They'll see an ad. Yeah, they'll spend some money.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. So you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
But it is and has always been. I mean, since the 60s, horror has been a way for newer creatives to break in that door.
Right. Because it's accessible. It's more accessible. And I guess the standards are lower, so that makes it easier to fail upwards. I mean, we're being hard on that
I wasn't
horror,
thinking about.
but
I was thinking more about a reliable audience.
Oh, that too.
For horror, like there is an audience that really wants horror, and you know, there's an audience that really wants drama, but no one sits around going. You know, if you feel like watching a drama, it's a lot harder to find a drama that suits you.
Right.
Whereas most horror, if you're a horror fan,
you're gonna like it.
There's going to be something there for you.
Yeah.
Unless, unless it's like a horror film like Saint Maud that I loved and the kid was like looking at her phone because it was definitely too slow.
It was a little slow.
Slow burn. I
totally agree.
Yeah, the slow burn is rough.
For the youngs.
For the young. And then there's one thing she definitely wants the jump scares.
Right. That was a really slow one. But the ending was amazing.
The ending was
It
amazing.
was way well worth it.
Also, to her, I'm talking about her too much, but to her, to excuse her, she was raised with no religion. So when you don't have a religious background, the value of saying all the saints in history were probably schizophrenic. like that meant less to her than me.
It's less scary.
It's
yeah.
like the fact that this is saying, oh no, all those people, it was schizophrenia.
Yeah.
It was, they thought they were talking to God.
A lot less jump scares with schizophrenia.
Yeah.
I was also raised without religion. And so, yeah, some of the more religious horror movies they're not my thing. Like The Nun, I'm like,
Yeah, if you didn't grow up
thing.
fearing nuns.
Yeah. Or, being, like, indoctrinated by Catholicism. It's just not that scary to me.
Yeah, see, horror has to survive the lack of, well, what am I saying? I'm sitting in America in September of 2025, and if I look at the news, I'm told the big problem is there's not enough religion in our
Not enough God in schools. Yeah, I think religion has a few more centuries ahead of it to create good horror.
Oh, we still have Christmas?
We still
I heard Christmas was illegal.
Christmas is canceled. Yeah.
Oh, if only I could cancel Christmas music. But that's just a me thing.
I have to disagree.
Look.
I love. Remember,
a lot
I don't
of people
have
love
God, so I need Christmas. Don't take it away from me.
Right. No, I just don't want to hear the music.
The music, yeah. December 26th. It sounds way worse, doesn't it?
All right. Well. Anything else we should? Did we miss anything, or should we?
I'm just pulling out my phone to remember my favorite movies.
Oh well, there we go. Well, then I'll do the wrap up. Is there? Do you maintain a website, or is it just about social media? If people want to follow you,
I'm horrible at social media, but I'm really trying harder lately. I'm on Instagram. I'm at Philia, Philia. I'm on TikTok at Wit6, but I mostly just do funny sketch stuff. As a Rake is also on Instagram. You can follow it there. So
right. Well, you can send me links.
Send you. Yeah.
And then I know I still haven't. I don't know what TikTok is because I'm over 50. So
I feel like a little geriatric on there, but I'm really putting in an effort.
Well, yeah, and look, you need to.
You gotta.
That's where the people are.
I know. Gotta do what you gotta do. And I do see these people making, little micro budget stories on TikTok, and I'm like, maybe that's an option. Who knows?
The reason for my pause is there's a subject I won't bring up, but maybe after I hit stop. So,
okay.
All right. So let me do the wrap up. Well, first of all,
okay.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everyone, for listening. Click those links in the show notes so you can check out Amy's work and where you can see it all. And because obviously, if Yao releases whenever As a Rake goes up for Halloween next month.
Yes.
Actually, this podcast is scheduled to come out like the second week of October.
Perfect.
In fact, if I'd taken the time, I could have told you what day, but like mid-October. So there you go.
Perfect. Yes.
Perfect for everyone to watch
by then.
Your kick-ass horror short.
Thank you.
If you're listening, like and subscribe. Be nice. You should maybe even write a review. That's a kind thing to do. And there's a little secret, which is when you're kind, you get more out of it than the person you're being kind to, because being kind makes you feel great. So be a selfish asshole and be kind to everyone you meet. This is my argument. All right.
Genius.
There we go. All right. So if you want to learn more about this podcast, go to discoverindiefilm.com. On social media, it's always at DIFwins. If you go to discoverindiefilm.org, that is for the nonprofit that runs 2 film festivals in the LA area. Both are in the top 100 best reviewed list out of 14,000 worldwide. Kind of proud of that. The first one I'll mention is Film Invasion Los Angeles, where we showed Amy's film.
Amazing festival.
Thank you. And there's no difference between these festivals except their names.
Oh.
We started them, and we couldn't pick a name, so we started 2, and we did them 3 months apart the first year, and then we just figured, we'll just move them 6 months apart and keep them alive. So
That's great.
it makes my life a little more difficult
Yeah, I can
to
see
have
that.
to explain it. But so that's Film Invasion Los Angeles. We hold every June, and Amy was a part of the 10th anniversary edition.
Yay.
So that if you want to learn more, go to filminvasionla.com, and it's at Film Invasion LA on social media. Its sister festival is the Sherman Oaks Film Festival that we hold every December. So the 10th edition of that is coming fast enough that I could have a mild panic attack at any moment if I think too much about it. But everything will be fine.
Don't
It'll be
think.
fine.
Nobody
It'll be
likes a
fine.
thinker.
It'll be fine. Okay, I need a hug. So anyway, you can learn more about the Sherman Oaks Film Festival if you go to ShermanOaksFF.com, and it's at Sherman Oaks FF on social media. And I call those 2 sister festivals. They're getting a cousin next year. Film Invasion Lima, Peru. Film Invasion Lima is launching in January of 2026. And that's happening. It's very cool. It's
exciting.
it is a tab on the Film Invasion Los Angeles website. Now, when you go to the filminvasionla.com, there's a pull down for FILA and a pull down for FI-Lima. So it's FI-LA and FI-Lima. In fact, it's funny. We called Film Invasion LA. There was no dash for the longest time. But then we realized, okay, we finally added another city. Because there was talk about London. There was always talk about adding another Film Invasion. Because people would always say, hey, you want to do another? I'm like, yeah, you want to run it? And then I'd explain how much work was involved. And so, they'd be like, yeah, no, that's too much work.
I'm good.
But the team in Lima is super enthusiastic, and they're awesome.
Why Lima?
Because Sherman Oaks Film Festival, last December, at the closing night party, we had a filmmaker from Lima sitting in the bar with me. We were sitting in a booth, and it was actually the second festival that this husband-wife team had been in. The first was during COVID, so we just Zoomed with Lima. But they flew up from Lima for Sherman Oaks Film Festival last year, and he said to me, man, I love this community of indie filmmakers. I wish I had a community like this in Lima. And I was like, well, Chevy,
you want to run a festival?
If you're interested, I've known you for a couple years now. I would trust you with the name, and I will give you all the, I would not supervision, but advice and support if you want to be the festival runner of Film Invasion Lima. And we discussed it by email a couple times for about a week or two, and it happened.
That is amazing.
And it's going to be it's in this beautiful theater in the Spanish Quarter downtown Lima, where the art museums and the government buildings are. It's a beautiful, colonial era Spanish architecture.
That's gonna be so
I realize
great.
colonialism isn't too popular, but it does make for some beautiful neighborhoods. When you're in South America and you go to the Spanish Quarter,
right?
It's always actually just gorgeous.
Let's not blame the architecture for the people who built it.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that all of a
fault.
sudden, this South American city feels like you're in Seville, Spain, but it's cool. So anyway, that's where the theater is. So
amazing! Congratulations.
Yeah, it's very cool. And there's still a good shot. We're still talking to people in Tempe, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And
great.
even Western Michigan. Nice. I think Vancouver and London are done. Those people backed away.
Okay.
I know. Wouldn't it be weird
on.
if someday there was a bunch of film invasions?
And it would be like being invaded.
Yeah.
Which I think we want when it comes to indie film.
Yeah, because indie film, that is one of the. Here, I was supposed to wrap this up, but that is one of the things that I find really rewarding as a festival runner of two festivals that are super indie focused, which is all the people who come up to me in the lobby afterwards, like parents and friends of filmmakers who come up and go, everything I saw today was great. I'm like, yes, exactly. You gotta, so hopefully, who knows? Maybe I'm going to start telling people, you got to go watch Yow TV because they're signing all these great films.
You guys did have a pretty good batting average from what I saw in terms of quality films. And also just outside the box type films, which you don't get to see very often.
We did have some, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue that we didn't have a bad film in that, but not all films are for everyone. But
no, it wasn't bad, but that one with the sound problem.
oh well, yeah, we had.
It wasn't even a bad film, I'm sure.
We had. Were you in there?
Yeah.
And there was no dialogue.
No.
Yeah, that was.
That was the only misstep.
My advice to all indie filmmakers is, for $5 an hour, pay for a professionally made DCP instead of making your own DCP and sound mix. But I have good news. 4 weeks later, they got a makeup screen. We actually had two films that had. It was actually, amusingly, the second film, we thought it was the theater's fault. And the theater thought it was their fault. And it actually was the DCP. But the theater had screened the DCPs for sound and picture, and they missed that. So they gave us a Saturday 8 p.m.
Amazing.
A month later, and those two films got screened again. So they got their own private screening.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
I think they would go and do that all over again, just the way it was.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a bummer, but I know. The funny thing is, for me, it was like weird psychologically that it like stretched out the festival an extra 4 weeks. Like if the festival wasn't done,
right.
I had this emotional
How
need
did
to
that
just
happen?
let's delete the files, and no, I can't delete. Yeah,
Right.
but they both made new DCPs, and we had a great night.
Nice.
And I did my last 2 Q&As ever.
Oh, that's
I'm out of the
sad.
Q&A business.
You're out of the Q&A biz.
What are you gonna do?
Oh,
We're on
you'll
3
be
screens
missed.
at once. I can't.
You can't.
I can't. I was the staff. We had a little,
They need you to put out fires, right?
Yep.
More.
Yeah. Have I said that to you, or you just
Yeah.
nailed the term?
I think we talked about it
Yeah.
at one
Okay.
point.
Yeah. There's just too much there. There's too many fires to put out, and also when I disappear, I mean, I love doing the Q&As, but when we're on one screen, I could do every Q&A.
Yeah.
Now doing 1 out of 3, I'm not even meeting 2/3 of the filmmakers.
Right. It's still worth it because it feels so good to have your film in a festival where there are multiple screens.
It does feel better,
It
huh?
does. It feels like you're in a real movie theater experience. Like I liked it.
There's one other. For me, selfishly, I love that we basically have something starting every 30 minutes. So there's always
Yeah.
activity in the lobby, where when you're on one screen, like the lobby's dead for an hour and a half.
Right.
And then people start trickling in. But with 3 screens at once, it just feels more vibrant.
You can literally just movie hop the whole day, which is kind of awesome.
I mean, let's be real. Like, everyone was like, oh, now we can't watch them all. I'm like, yeah, guess what? No one watched them all.
Nobody watched them all.
No, like there would always be 1 or 2 filmmakers who would really make the most of that all access pass and watch every film. But fine, now you got to pick your battles.
Those filmmakers don't have children.
And also, being on 3 screens at once allowed us to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
And it was like 9 days.
Oh yeah.
Like we had
that's
expanded.
right.
Sherman Oaks Film Festival last year was on 1 screen, and we ran Tuesday to Sunday. And, so we were showing films Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night when it's hard to get people out.
Right. Those weekend days are so coveted.
Yeah, so now
It's worth it.
So now I'm just rubbing my hands together, hoping we get that 4th screen going soon.
You can. I believe you will.
Yeah, there's just one annoying, well, whatever. It's all about money. All right, Amy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Had a great time.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for listening.